Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Joshua here with Salty Scales. So a question that I get a lot of times, and I see it actually on forums a lot, is how does a swivel impact artificial lures, or does it even? Well, I honestly think that's a pretty valid and a good question. So swivels, if you don't know, their primary purpose is to help prevent line twist. So if you have this swivel on here, you ideally should not have any twist in your line. Now you will still get wind knots and things like that, but as that lure is constantly spinning or you're jerking it through the water column, it helps remedy that problem. However, I'm a big believer in simplistic rigs. In this particular instance, more is not better. So I try to tie a uni to uni from my braid to my fluorocarbon. Now, that's what I do 99.9% of the time. Now, the question that you have is, does the swivel impact the lure? Well, yes, it actually does impact the lure. And why? Well, this swivel is typically found a couple feet above the lure, and this adds a little additional weight. Now, is the impact going to be that noticeable to fish? Probably not. But what it typically does, if you say this is your lure with your swivel, it's going to bring, as it starts to descend, it's going to bring the nose of that bait down a little bit more. So if your bait typically falls horizontal like this, it's going to have more of a diagonal profile. Now, and it's also going to descend a little faster in the water column. So these are other things that you got to take in consideration. Now, what we're going to do is some underwater tests to show you the minuscule differences, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Is it going to drastically impact your fishing? I don't think so. However, what it could do is cause you to lose some gear. And what do I mean by that? Or I should say some tackle. So if you use swivels, especially, silver swivels, any swivel really, but as you jerk that lure, you're going to be jerking this as well. And when this moves, a lot of times the fish will strike the swivel, thinking it's a smaller profile bait fish. Now, the problem that you have with that is a lot of these fish have teeth, including Spanish mackerel in the Tampa Bay, bluefish, even speckled trout have teeth. Typically not enough to where they're gonna cut you off, but they will oftentimes eat this swivel, causing issues or having you lose your entire rig. So that's an important consideration. But again, the swivel, I personally don't use it. I like to tie the uni knot or the FG knot directly to my braid when I'm using artificial. If you want to know how to tie the FG knot or the uni knot, I'm going to link it right up here in the left-hand corner, and I'll put it down in the description. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment. What do you think about adding a swivel to your artificial lures? Now, if you have an idea or a question that you want maybe a video done on, and it's a common one, comment below. Maybe I'll do the video. I'm going to do a lot more of these informative tutorials. I think they're beneficial, and they definitely help people to learn how to fish, get them out on the water. Now, without further ado, let's go jump in and take a look underwater and see how the swivel impacts your artificial baits. All right, so there we go. We did the underwater test. What are your thoughts? Was it as expected? Were you surprised by how little impact that the swivel makes on the leader? Or were you surprised that it did make quite a drastic impact in your opinion? Let me know below, comment, and let me know. I'm curious to know your thoughts. However, again, I think it's very minuscule. I don't think it's gonna impact your fishing in the sense that you're gonna catch more or less fish. However, you may lose a few more rigs and tackle over time. So make sure you give a thumbs up, guys. Until next time, I'll see you on the water.